When I was in graduate school, I was studying roots of religion, and I traveled a lot in Europe, and I was just blown away by the mosaics. They could be 2,000 years old and still be as vibrant. And when I turned 40, I said, okay, this is what I'm doing. I want to make big work, really large work, and I want to work with the mosaic. I'm interested in preserving that parts of nature that are still left. You know, those little pieces of land that we have that's original. That's where I go to photograph and document and try to capture something that doesn't have the traces of man. When I was working on the Houston Bayou, I was down in the bayous in the kayaking. Started doing sketches, did preliminary thumbnail work, did small little paintings. And then I did the large painting, which is, I think, about 20 feet long. And I used the fabricators in Cuernavaca, Mexico. I took my painting down there and we actually drew it off on large sheets of paper, then cut the paper up, and then they look at my painting and interpret it in glass. This dragonfly has 24 karat gold in it, so I've got a lot of iridescent qualities that the dragonfly has, and it was a lot of fun to work on getting the fabrication just right on that. Why mosaics work so well in a public space, because from a distance they can appear to be a painting or an image that you can see, and as you walk up to it, it becomes almost like confetti, and it breaks up and becomes very abstract. When I did the Port of Miami, it's called Ephemeral Everglades, and I spent weeks hiking and kayaking and boating all through the Everglades to try to capture that vastness of nature. I spent a month at the prairie at a certain time of the year for Indianapolis and really being intimate with it to understand the shape of the plants and the birds at that particular time of year. The Dallas airport, I just finished in March. It is 18 feet high and 64 feet wide, and it's of the prairie in the springtime, so it has all the native flowers in bloom. And it has a lot of handmade ceramic in it, and it also has something new that I hadn't done before is we have bulged out some of the flowers so they're three-dimensional. All my newest work has handmade clay tiles in it. The first piece that I did with my own ceramic pieces was called Strata, and it's in the Woodlands. The next piece I did was for Texas A&M, and we did the benthic zone all here in my studio. What my process on these smaller pieces were, it's kind of going back to the surrealist, where they would do a print, and then they would find the message in the print. And I knew I wanted to work on the cellular level, the atomic level. So I played around with that organic shape and those colors. And working on these small pieces really changed the color of my palette. It became much brighter. The hours of solitude and placing the tile and stuff was so zen, which is addictive. It's a wonderful place to go.